I am looking rough. Hey guys, it's day one of my general exam. I woke up and saw that I got the email with my questions from my committee members, and I am feeling a lot better about it now that I actually have the questions. It feels like less of a mystery, and I read through them, and it seems like the questions aren't difficult, but I do feel like they're going to be time consuming. Like there's many parts to it. Some of the advice I received from my friends that have already done their general exam or are in another cohort said to spend that first day planning and outlining. So like which order do you want to do the questions, what day, and they also said to plan to have like 2 days per question and to start with the hardest ones. And so I just went through and kind of mapped them out on time consuming, like time and difficulty, to see like how I should order them. And I know they'll kind of probably move around by how I'm feeling on certain days, but to try to take like the easier ones at the end. And yeah, so I'm feeling pretty good today. I also think I might actually get started on one of the questions. So I tried to, in my like planner, map each day and like which question, but I put the question on sticky notes because I might, move them around. And yeah, I have 5 questions, but 2 have 2 parts. So I'm considering those like separate questions and planning those out in like accordingly. I also tried to like think about like thematically how to connect them. So I like put it on this marker board about whether I thought it was like a methods question that can kind of be done in isolation, or if it's like a longer lit review or related to theory or like implications. I don't really know if it like mapped out entirely because they kind of overlap, but I thought maybe I'd want to see it that way as well for planning on when to do questions, because maybe I'll want to break up some of my longer lit reviews with a methods question. But yeah, so far I don't know how any of these strategies are going to work, but that's what I'm spending like the first day doing. I started doing some literature searches to get a sense of things. And tomorrow I have a meeting with my advisor to ask any like clarifying questions, but I don't think I have any yet. But that's why I'm thinking of maybe going through literature for each question first, so that if I do have any questions, I can ask him tomorrow. But yeah, so far that's the plan. I also put on for each question, I made a separate Word document, just so that I'm not like seeing all the other questions and distracting myself. Or yeah, we'll see. I kind of like to flit around and do different things, so we'll see how it goes, like focusing on one question. In total, it should be between like 50 to 100 pages. I think most people do like 50 to 65 pages, but they have seen people with 100. I don't think I will have 100 pages, but maybe I'll try to do 60 pages. But yeah, so that's gonna be my process so far. My plan is 2 days per question, have like the more difficult time consuming ones first, like the first week, and then have the more straightforward questions. But I'm glad none of the questions are totally off the wall. They are things that like I expected from questions people had when I was writing my proposal. So far it seems doable, but 2 days for basically like a whole paper is kind of a lot. So we'll see. Questions seem manageable, but it does seem like it'll be a long process to find all the correct literature, synthesize it, and make sure I'm answering directly the questions. But yeah, so day 1 is going okay. And yeah, let's see how it goes starting answering these questions. Hey guys, day 2 update. I'm working on my first question, actually like writing it out and having full paragraphs. Yesterday I just did some like literature and notes, and I think this is kind of going well. I am worried that it's a lot more slow going than I was hoping, but we'll see how it goes. I also have my meeting with my advisor so I can ask any questions about my questions in an hour. And yeah, so like the process I guess is going okay. One challenge is my research topic is pretty heavy, and I found myself like tearing up reading some literature earlier. And yeah, the world kind of sucks right now too, so it's kind of like hard to focus on these things right now, but yeah, we'll champion through. I also ordered a couple of books that'll hopefully be here on time about some of the questions, like books that the ebook wasn't available at the library currently, so hopefully I'll get those in time to incorporate some of that. I really don't read much books in my field. We really prefer the peer-reviewed journals, but I do find that sometimes books are helpful to getting like the foundational knowledge and getting sources to then find the original work. So yeah, that's kind of how it's been going today. So far, so good, except I'm crying, but that's okay. Yeah, that's the update. It's all the same, highs and lows, highs and lows. Keep all your game, highs and lows, highs and lows. It's all the same, highs and lows, highs and lows.
If I'm overthinking, I'm really trying, so I should stop it. So hard on myself, it's true. Pick apart the things I do. Been in hiding, backsliding, keep rewinding, pulling the thread through the loop, trying to find the faith I knew. Always thought that it was.
Hey guys, welcome to day 6, I believe, of my general exam. I'm feeling kind of like trash today, not gonna lie, but so far the process hasn't been so bad. I'm working on question 3 right now, and I've actually have a pretty good schedule going where I'm working on one question every 2 days, and the first day is where I'm doing my kind of like brain dumping of like how I think to answer the question and looking up all the literature and like taking notes and having like a pretty strong outline and like different kind of snippets from other articles that I want to eventually integrate into a paper. So I'm doing that the first day, and then the following day I'm writing it all up into the actual short form answer, putting everything in my own words, synthesizing and integrating the different sources. And yeah, that's been like working pretty well so far. The 2 questions I finished, it's kind of hard to say finished, but I finished my like 2 days doing them. There's like usually a couple, like there's a paragraph in each of these answers that I pretty much completed that I do wish I had like another day where I could more edit things and really dive in like a little deeper. But I'm hoping, I've planned out to have like a couple days at the end before it's due where maybe I can like fill in those gaps and finalize editing those. They might also come up in follow-up questions. So like maybe I put the questions that I thought would be the hardest and most time consuming and where I wasn't as familiar with the literature. Well, that's not true. The one I did yesterday, I was familiar with it, but anyway, yeah, today I'm not feeling like, I think I'm getting like a little burnt out because I have been working consistently. I have been good about like stopping working not so late into the night, though I'm guessing my last week of this exam I will be pulling a little bit more late nights trying to finalize things, but so far it's try to find all the literature I can, read up on it, feel pretty confident in how I want to answer it, and then the next day working on the answer. But yeah, I'm just not feeling, I have a headache, I'm like just not like feeling ugh. So that kind of sucks, but it was to be expected. So I'm kind of glad that today is the start of the 3rd question I chose to do today. And so it's just like literature and like notes, outlines, and I feel like I can do that even if my brain's not fully with me today. Maybe I just need more caffeine. That's probably true. But yeah, anyway, working on the 3rd question, I kind of have 7. I think I mentioned I have 5 questions, but 2 have 2 parts. And so I think that like the progress is going pretty well. So let's just get back to reading the literature and thinking of how I'm going to answer these riddles. Let's go. I think this is my like new little up-to-date spot. So anyway, we're on to day 7 of my general exam, and I ended up going to campus earlier today to kind of like mix it up. I did some reading and writing at the Starbucks and at the library, and it was so nice because it was, well, because it's summer, so there wasn't that many people around, so it's kind of like nice to be able to hang out in the library when it's a little more quiet. And now I'm back, mainly because I just wanted to work on my big computer, to do more of the writing and citation stuff. And yeah, but it was nice to like mix it up a little bit, and maybe I'll do that again for the general exam. I also picked up a couple of books that they didn't have ebooks for, and yeah, just nice to like mix it up a little bit. And yeah, I need to get my momentum back up though, because I am starting to fade pretty fast and just not feel like I don't feel like doing any of this. So I need to really like keep on my schedule and try to really finish out this third question, because I don't have any other time to do it. I need to do it today, but it's already pretty late into the afternoon, so I need to get to my desk and get back to it.
Every second that I lose, I wish I could get back to. Always, not that it would just feel right. I've been looking my whole life. Don't care if I'm running out of time. I don't wanna waste tonight. I'm waking up and I can't let go. I'm in my head, but I can't say no. Not gonna do this all the time. Not gonna focus another moment on the things that I can't control. I need to find some peace of mind tonight. I don't wanna think about it now. I don't wanna think.
Time for an update. We are halfway there, just over halfway, about halfway. I think it's like halfway there with the general exam, and it's been a roller coaster, of course. I'll like start writing a question, and first I'll be overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? Then I'll start breaking it up, and I'll like be reading the literature and writing some things, like, oh, this is going like well, like okay. And then I'll find one more article that then makes me question everything that I just wrote and makes me realize, oh wait, I know nothing about what I'm doing. And then I'll like read my question back and be like, does this even make any sense? And so like a lot of imposter syndrome things happening, which I think is, I guess like part of this experience is that you are answering really these questions about your research, and they're supposed to show what you know, and you're supposed to look to the literature, and then you're also supposed to realize how much you don't know and how you don't know anything. And that's why they ask you these questions, to be like, do you really know this? Yeah, so because of that, and because we are at the halfway point, I have decided to mix up my strategy a bit. Like initially I was taking 2 days per question, having like the first day be outlining literature, gathering like notes, and the second day like fleshing that out and writing the answer. And then I had that whole one question that like really just kind of made me feel like I spent those 2 days not being really productive. But yeah, so my strategy now is to spend 1 day per question, really try to get as much like fully written as possible, and then move on to the next question. Because I don't want to get into the situation where I have 2 days left, but a whole question that's not answered, because I am finding that I really do want to go back and look at my old answers and make sure that they're making sense. And so I think if I try these next few days, I have basically 3 questions left that I haven't touched. So if I spend today, Saturday, and Sunday doing like as much as I can on those questions, probably being a little bit more focused and spending a little bit more time on that, really, really focused, then I think I can get them all to like that 65%, 75% completion, so that by the time like the final week rolls around, where I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I can really just focus on adding to those questions and making them coherent, because I am worried that my questions don't really make any sense. So I think that'll be my plan now for these remaining questions, is really focusing in on one day per question, and then the last few days trying to make sense of the answers that I've already done. And flex. Of course, I cut myself off again by not checking my storage this time. But yeah, so that's the game plan. So that's the game plan for this second half of the general exam. I do think that the first half went okay, pretty well. I do think I was like really easing myself into it, and I think that that works. And now it's kind of like grind time to really knock this thing out. Yeah, it's challenging because I don't think many people don't pass. I think you really would have to be like not trying at all. But I do want to write solid answers, and I do think this would be really helpful for my like dissertation writing. And I've actually like enjoyed the process of being able to focus on these things and actually be able to look at the literature that's really related to my dissertation topic without competing priorities of other manuscripts and RA positions, TA positions. So I've actually like liked the process, but it is a lot of pressure, and I am nervous about my committee members' reception to my answers. I hope that they don't think I was like skirting away from answering the question or not answering it directly or being roundabout, because I do think I'm more discussing things than like saying this is why I'm doing this and this is why and therefore it's like the right answer or I'm going to do this. It's more like these things should be considered, this is why, here's like the pros and cons. So we'll see, and I guess they'll tell me all of that on the general exam oral, which is on the 29th. So I just really need to focus on getting these questions answered. So let's get back to it. So yesterday I went to the library for the second time during the process, really just to get out of my, little cave situation in my apartment. And I picked up some books, even though I was like, I'm not gonna have much time to read them if I only have like one day left. But I also met up with one of my friends, and she made me the cutest little like general exam care package. And so I just love that idea so much. And I'll show you what she put in it, because now I've like put everything away, but she included like an energy drink and highlighters, pens, a candle that was called Peace and Tranquility, which I have lit right now because that is what I need. And what else was in it? Oh, a face mask, which was like about de-stressing, and dry shampoo. So it was just like the perfect thing for like during the general exam and for like post general exam. And I just think that was so nice of her, and I just thought it was like a good idea, and I definitely want to pass that along for when some of my friends are doing their general. And so we met up and just got some coffee, and it was nice just to kind of be like, okay, this is a process. We're all doing this. Not at the same time, but we're all in this together, and she's going to be someone that really does understand it, and she hasn't done hers yet, but she will, and then I can be like, okay, here's my advice. But yeah, I just thought that was really nice, and then it kind of hit me that like, oh, shoot, I have to finish this all. So then I came home and started like working right back to it. I didn't work too long at the library, but yeah, I tend to be more productive at home. So let me know down below if you are more productive like out and about, like at a coffee shop, at the library, or at home. I'm definitely more productive at home, but it is nice to mix it up. I just have to tell myself if I do a coffee shop or library, I'm actually not going to get more work done. It'll be more for just decompressing. It's been a while since I did an update, but it is the night before my general exam is due, and I finished. Ugh, I'm so tired. So yeah, I feel like I was like keeping up to date with vlogging when like during the first week, and I think I talked to you guys about changing my strategy, and that strategy then also included like just staying in my pajamas all day, drinking energy drinks, and just like being at my computer. That was so rough. It was like okay, like I wasn't so stressed until like last night at 9 p.m. I was just like, oh my gosh, what if I don't finish? And then I went to bed at like midnight, and then I woke up at like 5 a.m. being like, I need to finish this. And usually I'm not like a very early morning person. Like I wake up at a regular time, but like waking up at 5 a.m. is not something I'm used to doing. And I woke up at 5 a.m. and I just sat on the couch in my pajamas, and I just kept working on finishing all of my questions, putting the page numbers, setting them up. And then it was like 2 p.m. and I was just like, I'm so tired. And then I fell asleep for like 5 hours, and oh my God. Yeah, that was such a process. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of it along the way. I hope I do okay. I mean, it's a kind of like a you pass, but I hope that the committee members don't think that whatever I wrote was not coherent, and I hope I answered their questions. And I can't believe this huge milestone is finished. I just can't believe it. So if you are at near upcoming this stage in the process, or you finished it, or you're about to like defend your dissertation, or anything that you're doing on this PhD journey, I hope you are doing okay. I wish you the best. It's a process. And yeah, so I guess next step after this is the oral, which I have in 2 weeks. So I'll send my committee members my what ended up being 63 pages. The whole document is 68 when you put in the questions. So I wrote 63 pages in 2 weeks. I read I've cited 200 sources. So that was a process, man. I just can't believe it. And so after this, and after my oral, where they'll just ask me questions about it, I guess, I will officially be a PhD candidate. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of behind the scenes of what it's actually like doing a general exam. And I will see you next time.